My name is Maximo Madera. Today, I am going to present my research on Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is one of the largest domestic airlines that specialize in providing low-cost airfare and a family environment to their customers. I will be focusing on their financial health, presenting a SWOT analysis, and showing recommended strategic changes to help make the company more successful. Now let's take a look at their current strategy. Southwest is one of the largest airlines in the nation in terms of available seats for customers. They only provide coach seating, which allows them to have a larger capacity of passengers, helping to keep the airfare at a very low price. They have more direct flights than any other airlines out there, and they have a very loyal fan base by providing superior customer service, free check bags to every customer, and a good rewards program. Now let's dive into a SWOT analysis. Let's first focus on their strengths. So Southwest was able to enter and prosper in the marketplace due to lower ticket prices than their competitors. They have one of the highest available seat miles, or ASM, in the nation. This means that they have more seats for more miles, and ASM is a key driver in airline revenue. They offer 50 nonstop flight destinations, so this makes it more appealing to fly with them rather than their competitors. They offer refundable ticket fares as well as transferable fares if you do have to cancel, so they give you credit towards future flights. They also do not charge fees to change your flight plans, even at the last minute. Now, Southwest is one of the only airlines out there to offer free checked bags for customers, so you get 2 free checked bags regardless of your status. With other airlines, you have to have certain loyalty status or upgrade your tickets to take advantage of free checked bags. Southwest also offers a loyalty program to their customers that can help them earn flight credit through purchases of flight tickets, rental cars, hotel reservations, merchandise, and even gift cards. They only have the Boeing 737 aircraft in their inventory, so this has helped with their low cost strategy. It also has provided for simplified training, maintenance, scheduling, flight operations, and effective aircraft utilization. Now, some of their weaknesses that they don't have any upgraded options for business class or first class, so no more leg room. So this could be a detractor for some potential customers. They depend too heavily on their domestic flights. They don't have very many international options, so it would be advantageous of them to expand in that area. Now, having the single aircraft model is also considered a weakness. There was an incident in 2019 in which the FAA grounded all Boeing 737 MAX airplanes. So this grounded 31 of their airplanes, which resulted in loss of revenue. Southwest is one of the few major airlines that do not offer red-eye flights, so this could be another detractor for some of their potential business. And Southwest has approximately 82% of their employees in a union. So this makes the airline very susceptible to strikes and other union disputes that could cause loss of revenue for the company. So they need to be very proactive with any labor concerns to avoid potential issues. Now, Southwest also has a number of opportunities. Southwest's main revenue stream is from ticket sales. They could expand their freight business to tap into the logistics side. This could bring in more revenue for the company. In 2019, freight revenue was less than 1% of their revenue stream. They do not fly to every state within the continental US, so they could expand to more destinations within the US, including Alaska, and add Canada to their list. So this would bring in more business to the airline. They could expand their international footprint. Now, they do offer flights to Hawaii, finally moving away from just the continental US, but they could offer more international flights to increase their revenue and reduce their dependency on domestic flights. They currently only fly to select destinations in Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. Southwest can take advantage of new emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and data analytics to increase operational efficiency and improve their customers' experience. So data analytics can help Southwest predict passenger trends and optimize routes, while the AI and machine learning can be utilized to personalize customer interactions and improve customer service. Now, there's always a demand for cheaper flights. As prices seem to rise across the board, people are going to be looking for that low cost flight options. Southwest already has a reputation for affordable rates along with their quality service, so this could help them to attract more customers and increase their share of the market. Southwest does not partner with some car rental companies. Excuse me, Southwest does partner with some car rental companies and hotels, but they are one of the few major airlines that do not partner with any other airlines out there. So if they were to expand and create an alliance with other airlines, they could share resources, pick up or extend partner routes, and even offer the ability to earn and redeem miles through each other's rewards programs. Now, some of the threats that they do face out there currently: looming recession. So, unemployment rates and rising fuel prices could cause a big threat to the company. This could cause a decrease in air travel and revenue for the company, and they would need to look into other revenue resources to keep afloat. Now, continued issues with the Boeing 737 MAX. There was the design flaw that caused two fatal crashes, which led to a 20-month grounding in 2019. There have been even more recent events where a plane had a stuck rudder pedals during landing and another with a fuselage panel ripping off mid-flight. And over one quarter of their fleet is the 737 MAX. So they have a large order of MAX variants coming in from Boeing that is being ready to be fulfilled. Now, there is a highly competitive industry for the airline, and that offers a lot of threats to Southwest. Without joining an alliance, they are left to fend for themselves. Other airlines have also tried to offer low cost tickets to customers, and so there have been a lot more entry into the market of low cost carriers. There has also been negative publicity coming up recently. So in 2020, the FAA revealed that Southwest was flying for 2 years with unconfirmed maintenance records, which put millions of passengers in danger. In 2022, they failed to offer adequate customer service assistance, flight status, and refunds in a timely manner. So this led to a $140 million fine. This was during a time where the airline also had to cancel over 15,000 flights during that holiday season. COVID-19 caused the airline to have its biggest loss in the company's history, and they were forced to suspend hiring, offer voluntary separation for employees, and modify payment terms to their vendors and suppliers. So they also had to invest in significant amount of money into new sanitation and safety measures. Now let's take a look at some of the financial standings of the company. First up, let's evaluate the gross profit margin, or GPM. Right, so this actually shows how much profit a company makes after accounting for direct operating costs. COVID did hit the airline industry especially hard in 2020, with air travel being severely restricted. Now, as you can see, all three airlines depicted here were negative in 2020, but they were all able to get positive in the next few years. There should be an upward trend here, but Southwest was showing a slight decline for the last 3 years, as opposed to Delta, who's in the upward trend. Now, this may mean that Southwest needs to find other sources of revenue or change their strategy to attract more customers. Now, let's take a look at the return on assets, or the debt to equity. This helps to determine how reliant a company is on debt to maintain operations. You generally want to see numbers less than 1.0. Now, in 2020, during the pandemic, Delta was sitting at 19.01, but Southwest was only at a 1.164, which was slightly above preferred threshold. In the last 3 years, they have gotten even better, being under 1.0 in the last 2 years. So this shows that they are not heavily reliant on debt. Return on assets measures how much profit a company makes from its total assets. So the higher the numbers, the better, and this trend should be upwards. Now this chart does show that Southwest was not hit as hard as the competitors and Southwest has had positive numbers in the last 3 years, but is currently on a downward trend. So this shows that they are not utilizing their assets as efficiently as they should be. Based on this data, we can see Southwest is not performing as well financially, even though they are staying afloat. So let's take a look at some of the current strategic challenges that they are facing. All right. So one is going to be affecting the entire industry. There's a shortage of pilots in the airline industry. Boeing 737 has had mechanical malfunctions that have caused grounding of airplanes, and Boeing is also behind schedule with the delivery of new airplanes. Southwest also had a very difficult winter that caused a lot of flight cancellations. Rising economic costs are also hard to keep these costs low. And with having a single source of revenue, the company could be hit hard in the event of another pandemic or a union strike. So let's take a look at ways that Southwest can actually change and be more profitable. Now, Southwest does have training programs for new pilots, but they would need to increase the advertisement and recruitments of these programs. I searched for training programs and used the various job sites, and I didn't find any hits for Southwest programs when I used general searches. Southwest also needs to hire more ground personnel to get their airplanes ready for the winter flights, and also invest in more trucks that can spray the de-icing solution to help avoid all the flight delays and cancellations that plagued the company in the winter of 2022. Southwest also needs to bring in more revenue. One way is by expanding their international footprint. They offer very limited flights out of the country. If they start to offer flights from LaGuardia in New York to Toronto and London, they can use that increase in revenue to offer even more international destinations. Another way they can bring in more revenue is to expand their freight business. Delta earns approximately 3% of their revenue from freight, but Southwest earned less than 1%. Now, with freight being shipped on passenger airplanes, they wouldn't need to have dedicated airplanes just for freight. They can use their existing inventory. Southwest also needs to expand away from just the Boeing 737 fleet. Putting all their eggs in one basket has already had an effect of the company. When the FAA granted the 737 MAX, 31 of their airplanes were unable to generate revenue. I would advise to purchase some models from Airbus, who currently has a better safety record. And that about does it. We spoke about where Southwest Airlines is sitting financially and ways that they can improve their strategic operations to be more successful. We looked at their strengths, opportunities, and weaknesses. Southwest is doing okay as a company, but they have the ability to become more successful and generate more profit.